West Ham Fan TV said outside London Stadium. I'm here with Marshy. Marshy, 2-1 victory tonight. Wasn't pretty, but sometimes you got to take the ugly ones.
Yeah, over the line. Yeah, I think we've just about. I think we're a bit subdued in the performance. I think the crowd are a bit subdued, maybe a bit of nerves. The players were maybe a bit nervous, a bit shaky, a little bit shaky. But yeah, listen, we've largely come over the line. Spells that we were quite poor in the first half, I thought. Benrahma was by and large our best player without the penalty. I think he was good. I think Antonio. I think they just had the number of a couple of the boys. I think they had Antonio's number. I think they had Bowen's number. I think once we got the second goal, we sort of tried to play a little bit too late. Needed probably the third goal just to see it off a little bit more. Could have had that with a Benrahma link up with Ings, who I thought did well when he come on. But I also think taking Antonio off was a bit of a wrong one. When he scored the goal, I think maybe a bit of a confidence thing, but he might be shagged as well. So yeah, listen, we've got over the line, and they've got to come at us next week now, aren't they? So that's going to play into our hands because we're pretty strong on the counter.
Yeah, 100%. And as you mentioned, I think a lot of people have mentioned, and rightly so, Benrahma tonight was. I think it's one of the best games I've seen him playing the West Ham show. It's the first time I've actually seen him in a long time just wanting that ball. Because he's playing off the crowd's reaction. Yeah. And when you get when players are that confident, yeah. And when he's got the talent to do it, he's dragged us through that game tonight.
He has, yeah. I think Paqueta did okay. His link up with Benrahma was good, but yeah, Benrahma as an individual, I think was some of his stuff he was willing to take him on. He looked like the only one in the first half, especially. It looked like he wanted to get hold of the ball, drive forward. We had the likes of Rice that I think Rice was relatively quiet. I don't know if he's got a knock. He looked like he was limping a bit in the first half. Maybe I'm wrong. It looked like he was a bit slower off the mark. I think the boys at the back, Zuma coming back in was good. I think maybe a little bit rushed, maybe because of the potential worry of what they could give us. But listen, I'm not worried about them at all. I don't think they showed anything that we've got to worry about necessarily. I think we defended much better in the second half than the first half. The goal that they scored was all that they'd done in the first half. There's a foul on Paqueta anyway. I think the referees are obviously largely different to what we're used to in this country and in the Premier League, where they've got a lot of them decisions that we never tonight.
They definitely scored against the run of play. I mean, Areola, for me, from where I see it looked like he should have done a little bit better, but yeah. I haven't seen the replay.
A few have said that. I've been waiting around, and a few boys have said, talking to a few boys earlier on, who said that, with the distance, he probably should have done a little bit better. You have them sort of spites, though. You have them sort of setups where you should have done better. Those happen time to time. We've just got to look at it and go, look, how do we better it the next time? We've now got to prepare for. I'd rest a few of the boys Sunday. Coming into Brentford, I think it's more or less a dead rubber, isn't it, really? Which we're lucky for, but then we play really well Man United, so maybe they're tired off the back of that. They've given everything for large parts of the last couple of months, maybe. Left it all on the pitch. Tonight, maybe not so, but we've done enough to get over. Rest a few for Sunday. Prepare well for next week. I think, back in their place and their home environment is going to be hard work, but, the support they're going to be out there, support at home is all going to, hopefully come together and we can get into a final.
Yeah, it'd be massive for this football club, not only, especially for the players and the manager, of course, but for the fan base. There's, as you said, there's a lot going out there. There's going to be millions watching on the TVs at home. Yeah. It's a big occasion for this football club. Whatever people think of this competition, for us to go out there and get a trophy, especially how dreadful this season has been league-wise, it'll be massive. And we haven't won a trophy in 43 years, a major trophy. It'll be massive for this football club and the fans.
Yeah, of course. I think anything to write home about. We've got to learn from mistakes of Frankfurt. We understand, what the European thing is about. The last couple of years, back-to-back semi-finals. Teams that, like you said, in the third tier of this competition, arguably it wouldn't be about. Maybe it gives more revenue, gives teams like us an opportunity. We've had to come through it. We've had to go through the grain, run through the mill. Had teams try and put it on us and give it to us. We've had to adapt our game. Players have had to be out their skin and, come together, maybe play out of position a little bit. Come together when it really mattered, and we've done that. 43 years is a long old time. So, even for the older Reds to see something again, there would have been about for the FA Cups to European Cup Winners' Cups, the old, European Cup Winners' Cups. So, yeah, it'd be blinding for everyone if we can I think the elation if we can come through next week, go into Holland with 2 goals, with a goal lead, slender, but we never had that with Frankfurt, so there was always potential on the back foot going out there. So now we can partially, not take it easy, but we need to look at it and think, where can we nullify them, which I think they did with us. Learn by mistakes and keep going. But if we can, it mean everything, especially with, like you say, the performances in the league have been a bit dire. We know that. We've kicked on to get our safety ourselves. We've had to look around over our shoulders. Maybe shows how bad we've been. But this competition, we've done everything we needed to do. So, we've put teams in front of us. We've gone past a moment away. Nice to have 2 legs here, because I think their support was all right. Ours is going to be brilliant next week. As I say, everyone coming together at home, everyone that's going without tickets. This fan base deserves something, and now this is our time to hopefully get that right. And listen, if Rice can lift that trophy in Prague, it'll be a blinding send-off, won't it? So.
Getting me emotional there, son. Cheers, mate. Thank you.